Mic check one. Mic check 1, 2. Okay, folks. Let me get back here to my. Welcome, people, back to episode 33, where we are diving into Roman stats. Now, what I have realized is that Rome always dealt lawfully. Jesus is a perfect example, where there was hordes of people that wanted Jesus to be slain by Rome. Okay, and Rome refused and kept sending him to higher courts. It's like, no, what you're saying isn't enough to have him, what you want done, have him murdered. And then I talked to him, and it doesn't realize, and I doesn't see any fault. So I'm going to send him to a higher court, and you guys can deal with it there. And this happened several times where Jesus was sent to a higher court, and also Paul, the apostle. Now, Rome always dealt lawfully. Jerusalem used Rome to police their citizens. Any capital punishment, any crime beyond their control, they told Rome, hey, we're going to send you to Rome. We'll send you to the big boys. So we know that somehow the leadership of Jerusalem and the leadership of Rome are working together, because we're sending you our prisoners. It's evidently clear that our prisoners, our most heinous crimes, go to you, Rome. You'll take care of it. It's easier for us. So all the things that we're thinking that Rome is taking over, Rome is spreading, and Rome is hurting people, no. Actually, you look in these books, you look in these texts, you look at these documents, you look at these stats, and it's saying a different story. See, now I have stats and records up the yin-yang thanks to the internet. See, this is where we get grossed out by all the rivers of blood, right? However, when I look up the death tolls of these wars, I see only one thing in common. The severity goes down the older we get. See, that's nothing to mention. War is war. But there's also something very interesting. Remember, undocumented wars. Well, most of these documented wars are the peaceful end to an undocumented war. It's understandable. If you destroy the government of a country, whatever information is coming out of there will be nil. And if you did ever cease fighting, there would be some group of people negotiating the terms of surrender or a treaty to call a stop to the fighting. See, the main difference between the wars is that a documented war, both sides usually end up alive. See, there is a gentle notion in my mind that the war that we see is not the war that is. Most of the war that Rome was involved in was going on already. See, but what usually happens is that one side, in the usual war, one side would totally decimate the other, and there's no evidence of the other side ever existing. See, now we have to look into how each and every single one of these wars started. They're not wars anymore. Now, of course, look at each and every individual war of the longest lasting empire in history, right? It was hard, right? But I did it. Wikipedia, see, has all of the Roman battles categorized in several ways. So I was able to look at the record by the death toll, by the date. And there was a quick definition that will pop up when I hover my mouse over the highlighted text. So I had an encyclopedia of information on every war. Now, most of these things are about taxes, land disputes, rights of ownership, where Rome is basically coming in and paying restitution over most people stepping over on your land. Or Rome hasn't seen your taxes in a few years. Or heaven forbid, you're under attack and Rome is going to send out soldiers to help you because you've been paying your taxes on time. And they come to stabilize your kingdom. It's written. See, there are an awful lot of places that were taken over. However, the Romans stay there. But the Roman way dissolves over time until the only thing left is whatever was there in the first place. This is the first raging empire that's going over there. Hey, we're going to come over here. We're dealing with these Italians. We're going to come over here, send 1,000 men. We're going to stop the fighting. We're stabilizing the region. And guess what? Guess what's left there after 1,000 years? Italy. See, I don't really see fighting anymore. It wasn't fighting. It's too much documentation. It's too much history. This is policing. The Romans aren't barbarians. In fact, the Romans hardly ever went to a place they were not called or requested to come. In fact, to move 100 men back then actually did take an act of Congress. It took an act of Congress. It seems that it might have taken weeks or months to get approval to go to a region in force like this. They weren't just, all right, we're going here today, we just group up. No. See, there's way too much structure to be invading. This must have been help in some way. Whatever. At first, all I saw was murders, right? When I first looked this up, all I saw was murdering, right? Murdering people. At this point, I began to add up all the dead. Then add up all the war to the Spanish Inquisition. Okay. At this point, I began to add up all the dead. And then add in every war up to the Spanish Inquisition, just to put all this death on the Roman Anglo-Saxon expansion and enslavement of the world. You see what I'm saying? Okay, now I saw how they did it, and I was gonna find a way to expose those Illuminati SOBs, right? Now, okay, but the truth is really, I just wanted to finish this, right? I was just looking at battles. Basically, I was gonna list all the battles and listen, these are all the battles up to you and me today, and now we're living in peace and harmony. And I was gonna just cap it off like that. Okay, the truth is I just wanted to finish this, and looking at the battles, I wasn't getting anywhere until I noticed the severity. Once things calmed down, you see, these weren't wars. They were calls to action. It looks like a bunch of concerned citizens started to get together and go help to help some foreign region fight for no reason. For no reason whatsoever. And help. Now, over time, these forces got stronger and interwoven throughout the entire world. So maybe there are countries that form up. Their parent countries are there to help them rise or take them out if they cause too much trouble, or take them over if they cause too much trouble. So a new country is like the overflow of the previous state.